And welcome back to Real Chill Conversations. Thank you to our guest today, Tristan. We have Tristan in the building. We have Misha in the building, Brenna. And today we're going to talk about why do men and women have relationships outside of their race. And we have Tristan over here that this was his topic for tonight. So let's start with him.
Hey, okay. First and foremost is the question is what make men or women want to go step outside their relationship is basically because of some flexibility. I don't feel like men are actually putting in. They're more feminine these days than they should be, and women have become a lot more harder. So they're replacing the roles in the household. And then when you got a man trying to become a man and you got a woman who is trying to act like she is one, you have rivals with each other. And it's a constant battle in the household. And I don't think it ever worked like that. Somebody got to take their role of what they're supposed to be. And most women don't want to do that today at all. So you have a lot of men which they got this quote unquote passport bros going overseas to get different women because those women are being women. You know, they're actually doing the things that a woman does versus you got our women over here hollering about excuse me, you got women over here hollering about I'm independent. Then what you call the definition of being independent? You know, that because you got an education, that because you got your own home, you bought your own car, you got your own job. It sounds like that's more of adult situations, not just being independent. I mean, hell, I do that myself. You do that. He does that. So I think, and then it's like I said, as far as our men out here, our men have gotten weak. They're not stepping up to be men. And most men don't become mature men till they're in their late 30s and early 40s. And women have lost patience. I mean, that's my personal opinion.
I can
Okay.
I I can understand that perspective, especially with the independence aspect of it. I mean, if you've been quote unquote self-supporting and independent for a very long time, and then you're in a situation where it's a team and a partnership, for some women it's hard to let go of the reins and let that let the man kind of take over and be a little more involved in different things with regards to making decisions.
Misha, what do you think?
So the topic is why do people date outside their race, right?
Yes.
Um, I think people date outside their race for many reasons. Everybody has a different reason why. I don't think there's a specific reason why people date outside the race. Some people might think that there's specific reasons, but as like for me, speaking for me and things like that, I don't look at like race. I look at the people. Like I'm not looking at your race or what you is, because that'll be closed minded if I think that I'm only gonna mess with a black person or a white person, where then how could you consider yourself like open minded or things like that? You're already closing yourself up to other people. All people are different in all races. What you see in one race is the same in all races. There's not going to be one race out here that doesn't do something that the other race does. So by saying I'm not going to mess with a black girl because she argues or she's argumentative and things like that, white women are argumentative, Mexican women are argumentative, things like that. So you're not going to run away from that. I feel that when people say that, then it's just the people you dealt with. Those people that you dealt with are like that, and might have been X amount of that many people. So you got that per se. But if you broaden your horizons and broaden your pool, so say, then you can get the whatever you're interested in, like the black girl or the Mexican or white whatever, and she won't be argumentative. Why? Maybe you want to look in your mirror and find out why the women are being argumentative with you and things like that and stuff. It might not be them. It could be you. It's a plethora of reasons why I feel people date outside their race.
So some things I hear from um people of color, of women, is that men that dated white women or men talk about how their own race didn't want to date them back, and they didn't fit, so they dated outside their race because their vibe was a match. So now they feel accepted, so now they date and get married to women or men outside of their race. um I want to read a post because I did do my little research like I always do. And I was listening to other people, what they had to say about this topic. And this post was posted online. And then let me know what y'all think about it, okay? Black women have to be honest about dating. If you want to find a man that has a degree with a respectable career, making some figures, owns a home, drives a nice car not cheap, has family values, no baby mamas, and not no felonies. Y'all have to date outside of your race. I want to know what y'all think about that
That's
post.
false. That's false.
Wow.
Yeah,
Uh,
wow.
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 Um,
Isn't
what do
that
you
like
think?
stereotyping a little bit?
It
It is.
is. It is.
Which I got to let me know.
I
I would say
mean,
that that person probably is wherever they live at in that area. That's probably what they experience. What wherever they're from, maybe their geographical area, and that's what they see and everything like that. But for the whole mass, you can't say that.
no.
Yeah, you definitely can't say that for the whole mass. I mean, that's very that person's line of thinking when they wrote that post is very questionable to me. I can't make the math make sense as to why they thought that that was reasonable and or
It's not.
acceptable.
And can you turn up your volume just a little bit more? Because I can barely hear you.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So there are some men that require in their relationship for the woman to be very submissive, kind of in the old school traditional way. And I'm gonna bring up the relationship between Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. She said that in their marriage she was submissive and she chose to be submissive. She said not only because that's what helped make their relationship work, but it was her culture. Being Asian, a lot of women let the man take the lead. They don't make the decisions about finances, about money. They don't necessarily go out and work a job and things like that. Their job is to make sure that the man has everything he needs, i.e., the house clean, cooking, sex, all that kind of stuff. So if you're that type of guy and you're looking for that type of woman, I don't think that there are many women of color that choose to take a back seat, to the guy. I think they want to be in an equal partnership, teamed up together, and not just being submissive.
So, do you feel like women of color? Okay, so I have this question, everybody in the panel. Do you all feel like women of color are running out of options with men of color? So, because of the necessity, they choose maybe another race?
No, I don't.
I don't.
Mm-mm.
I think
I
it's
don't
just people
either.
are getting lazy and not wanting to put in the work and the time and energy and effort that it takes to
And that's a
find that.
big fact. That's a big factor. Big
Yeah.
factor. Because I honestly believe, like, uh, for example, if if you want a relationship to work, you have to put 100, not 50-50.
Well, the reason I asked that question is because I noticed myself a lot of women on social media, women of color, saying, there's not enough black men.
But there is.
There
How much
is.
are you putting into it, and you gotta be
Right.
realistic with what they talking about too. You know what I mean? Like just because somebody has whatever they think they might want and things like that, it's not all about that. It's about two people coming together, building good chemistry, and then going from there. But a lot of people come into stuff of like what you got, what you can do, and things like that, and that ain't gonna work.
Well, I mean, I look at it like this. I've seen so many posts where a lot of these dudes, I'm pretty sure y'all don't seen them, where they'll sit up there and pull up in a Ferrari or pull up in a Lambo to check and see if this woman's a gold digger or whatnot, right?
Yes, I've seen that show. Yes.
Yeah. So, and then they turn around and wonder why the woman turns around and come back. Man,
Right.
look, you in a Lambo, you making 10 figures a year. What you expect her to do?
Mm-hmm.
Is she supposed to seek out somebody that's gonna be able to protect her and provide for her? So I'd be like, that's BS right there over there about that, man.
So
You
you
know,
don't agree with what they're trying to do. Trying to
no, not
impose
all women are gold digger.
things.
You can peep a gold digger out, but when you sitting up here pulling up in a Lambo and she's walking down the street walking, and then you turn around try to holler at her, then you walk over to that Lambo and she notices. What you expect her to do? It's her job to seek out somebody that she can back heads with, somebody that's gonna protect her, provide for her, and all this stuff. That's what she does. You think she gonna peep the guy sitting here with the McDonald's suit on? No. Versus you sitting here with a Lambo making, yeah, she go pick you.
Me
It's
too.
just her natural instinct to look into a man that can provide and protect her. That's period. So that garbage they be pulling out there be lame. And I don't like how they be doing it to make women look bad like that. Because you'll know what a gold digger is when she turns around and tells you specifically when you take her out to eat for the first time and y'all first date and you go somewhere simple like Shake Shack or something like that, or this little John over there. And then you talking about why ain't you take me here and why ain't you take me there? Where they got what you seen the TikTok where they got the spoons and forks. Like, bruh, it's our first date. I'm not gonna go all out and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the first date. I gotta
That's
get to
right.
know you first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
Brenda,
be
what do you think about that show?
I,
Will you turn around for the Lambo?
I'm not turning around for the Lambo. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going.
but I mean,
Um.
it makes our women of color because it's mostly women of color. They on their
Yep.
wit look bad. You trying to say women to go there? Look,
Mhm.
I'm all supportive of black and brown people, but when men are doing that to women, then want to get on social media because I always don't get me wrong, women do the same thing. I've seen some of their shows too. You can't sit here and walk out here with these tight leggings with your big butt out and your whole 9 yards looking together and your cleavage out and not expect that man not to turn around and say something.
Right.
That's in his nature, just as way it is in your nature to seek that man out with the income, with the finances, with the protection, all the good stuff. It's in his nature to seek out, oh yeah, she's fit, she's built like a stallion. You know, it's in his nature. So don't get mad when he comes at you sideways. It is what it is. So when you bash a man saying he ain't nothing but this and he ain't nothing but that because he came in your inbox because all on your social media, all he see is your top half and your bottom half. That's your
Right.
fault.
Right.
How do y'all feel about the parents that teach their kids at a young age not to be with men of color or women of color because they know that they are the most, they are desired from men of color, women of color.
So you really think
Parents.
parents are out there still doing that, or you
Some
Yep,
think you
there is.
about older
some
Yeah.
do.
parents?
Some do.
Yeah, there is. There
Yeah.
actually is.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it. I've heard it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. What
because
what
there's
y'all think about
when you
that?
look at it, there's really no pure bloods. Is everything is mixed. Like everything is mixed these days.
Well, see,
Yeah.
I don't look at everything as being mixed. Like I said, I'm more of a biblical person. I go what God loves, and what God said, you are what your father is. So, regardless of the situation, that if I choose black and brown, that's my choice. I've got mixed kids from when I in the far past where I started out at, but at the end of the day, I choose black and brown because I choose to see the fact that I prefer my kids. My daughter's dating a Mexican right now. I don't say nothing to her being with him. I don't care. As long as she's happy, he's treating her well, I don't care. But I mean, I don't teach her to date don't date this person or don't date that person or don't date this type of person. Whatever makes you happy, that's your choice. That's what you choose to do. But I've
Whoever treats
seen
you right.
actual people, huh? Oh,
Whoever
I've
treats you
seen,
right.
yeah, whoever treats you right. Black and brown, I stand behind black and brown. I've always have. Like I said, I had my past relationship, got two mixed kids from that, that. And when I realized and I started doing research on black and brown people, and I'm like, our black and brown women are less likely statistically out of all women on the face of the earth to ever get married. Like, I mean, something's got to give on that, man. These women out here being successful, and I don't just blame the men for switching up and trying to go somewhere else. I also blame the women as well because you go have to stand down and say, hey, look, I know you got I got a nice career. I know I got this, but that Miss Independent, you're not independent. You just being an adult. There's no independent. Hell, I'm independent. I'm living solo dolo. But we got to all come together and fix that
When
situation.
you say independent, what exactly do you mean when women say they're independent? Because
Okay, so as
I do, I call myself independent. If you
Okay, as a woman says independent, most times, 9 times 10, when a woman says she's independent, she's single, she's handling her business on her own, she's taking care of her own, got her own place, got her own money, got her own house, got her own car, taking care of her own kid, blah, blah, blah. Same thing, If that's the case, I can call myself, I'm an independent man because I'm doing the exact same thing. I don't yell that every day, though.
so I noticed that a lot of men get offended by that, but where how does it make you feel? Because I'm trying to understand
Well, see,
that.
you're the only race of people that does that. I don't hear Caucasians out here saying that. I don't hear Mexicans or Hispanic people going out here saying that. I don't hear Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Malaysian, Asians, the whole nine. Y'all the only ones that says that. Why do y'all say that? That is the real question.
Because it's the truth.
Okay, but it's adulting. You're being an adult. I'm doing the same thing, but
Brother,
you don't
come
hear me.
on this because I want to know how you feel about that.
It don't bother me if you're independent. If that's what you want to label yourself as, independent, strong black woman or independent, strong brown woman. If that's what you want to label yourself, fine. But you ain't got to announce it to me. I already know you that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily walk around with the label aspect of it, but I do think based on my experiences and then what I've gone through and just how life has led me, I consider myself to be independent because I do know how to take care of a household by myself. I do know how to make the mortgage payment by myself. I do know how to go to the car dealership and negotiate for my car myself. I do know how to plan a trip and a vacation and all that stuff by myself. I'm not afraid to go out by myself. I can have dinner by myself. Like, I don't necessarily have to have the company of a man in order to feel complete. Would I like, to have company with someone? Yes, of course. But I think when it comes down to being in love and being in a relationship, I think you love who you love. And it's one thing to seek out someone from a different race specifically because you're against dating within your own race. I think that that's wrong. But if it organically comes together and the man happens to be, let's say, Indian, and you're black, and you two of you fall in love and get together, get married, and have kids and have a family and all of that,
I mean, I think that's something that happens naturally and it's an organic situation. It wasn't the fact that he was seeking out a black woman and you were seeking out an Indian man. I mean, these things do happen organically, but there's so many people out here that don't want to date within their race and don't want their kids to date someone within their race because they don't have enough, quote unquote, there's no light skinned babies. Everybody's dark skin. Everybody's this, everybody's that, and that just comes down to the colorism that's within our communities as well, too, not wanting to date someone of a particular skin tone.
Misha, how do you feel about independent women?
I like independent women. I love them. I love independent women. I want everybody to take care of their own self and then come together and take care
I
of each
mean,
other.
that's what we were taught,
Right.
in a
I mean, that's
way.
what I
Like
teach my
it
kids,
comes more
all my
from our
kids.
background. And
Yep.
our grandmas, our moms, sometimes having to do everything for themselves. So I don't think that's like a put down to a man.
No,
It's
because I
like
have
it's more of a strength, to give us more strength to keep going, because y'all, whether y'all want to believe it or not, women operate off emotions.
mhm.
So, you know it give us that drive to, and it's not to bring down any man or make him look any less of anything. When a man stands in his masculinity, that's great, that's wonderful. We want to stand on our femininity. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Stand on it. Stand on it.
I
And
mean, like,
I don't think that being independent makes you less feminine. I don't think that is something that makes you more masculine and switching of quote unquote gender roles. I just think it means that you know how to take care of yourself and take care of whatever situation comes your way, that you can
Exactly.
handle it. You can
And
handle.
that's I agree with that. But it's not the fact that I have a problem with the independent woman. I prefer an independent woman. That lets, like he said, that lets me know when she comes over here with me, regardless if I got everything taken care of when you get here, you just added more to the plate. You know, that's there's nothing wrong with that. But when you gotta throw that in my face every time I get on social media,
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like some
like
people
I'm like,
take.
hold up, man. You're adulting. You're not being independent. You're adulting. You're doing the same thing I'm doing. You
Right.
just, but there's nothing wrong with it. And a lot of women and men don't know of why that reason started. It all started with the whole breaking up the black and brown households. That's where that started at. When you were not giving black men and brown men jobs in the 70s, guess what you did? You gave that woman welfare. Say either you can have this man or we can take care of you. That's what happened. You kick that man out because a woman's natural instinct is to take care of her kid.
So
You
let
kick,
me let me let me just reiterate that you're basically saying the system made women be more prideful of being independent because they didn't have to depend on a
there
man.
you go. It
There
gave you a
but
head.
okay,
It gave you a head.
but
It gave,
I don't. But okay, but so you're not depending on a man. You're depending on the government. So how's that make you independent?
see what I'm saying? There you go. And I'm not saying y'all as women. You got women out here
Well,
who's
no,
actually
just in general.
successful. Yeah, you got women who was actually out here successful, got education, got diplomas, businesses, doing their own thing. You know,
But
and
every woman doesn't get government help.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying most of these women that I know around here, around most of these areas, and I've traveled the whole entire country except for Alaska. And most of the women I've seen in certain areas of every state, they start out from welfare because you might have had a child at a young age, or you might have had uh, your parents who were not in the best position to get you started. So you had to start out that way. But regardless of whatever cause you get there, you had that assistance to help you. They gave you what's the name, a grant to help you get into school. They gave you free food and housing till you can get better on your feet. Till you got that thing of where you want to be in the nursing field, or whether it was LPN and all that good stuff and glorious stuff you're doing today.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna cut in right there. I'm sorry. I apologize, but for me, as a person who got government help that that gotten before, I have gotten it before. It
Uh,
didn't make me prideful.
mhm.
It didn't make me prideful to say I'm independent.
Yeah.
It made me actually try to push a little bit harder to
Hmm.
get where I needed to be, where I didn't need any help. You know,
Exactly.
but I do
Right.
see successful women as well who have degrees and everything, good ass jobs,
Hmm.
and they call themselves independent too. Do anybody have anything to say about what they speak about?
Yeah, I say the same thing about them. I do not want to hear it every
And help.
24/7. Like I know, look, I always look at my black and brown women as beautiful and strong, and as we see it today, they're doing their thing, they're handling their business, they're doing it. But at the same time, you don't have to tell me that. You don't have to announce it to the world that you're independent. You don't have to announce it to the world that you're strong. We know, I know this. We know this. I'm pretty sure my man's down here, he knows that. Like we see what y'all do every day. But when you got people and women of color who has these booster steps or the little boost that the system gives them to get ahead, it goes exactly to the exact same thing God said that will happen in the latter day. He said there's a new curse in the earth. A woman shall surpass man. So when the woman get this title where she feel like she's above us, when she watches a system that destroys black and brown men every day, and you in a
I
position where you
think
can
that's
change,
more like intimidation.
Yeah.
huh?
I think that's more of a man feeling intimidated.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not intimidated. But what you got, I probably got already over here. I'm not intimidated
No,
by nothing.
I'm just saying, like, I think that's a personal, like, how could you put it, Brenna? Help me out here.
I think that a woman stating that she's independent is not necessarily a put down, to a man, and shouldn't be a turn off, to a man. But if a woman wants to take pride in the fact that she was able to be successful and she was able to make it, there's nothing wrong with that. Nor is there anything wrong with needing to bridge the gap until you were able to get into a better paying job. And if that meant that you had to get some assistance in order to do it, then you do what you need to do in order to take care of your family. That makes you independent. So whether or not you got food stamps or welfare or the other stuff that's out there, but now you're in a situation where you're outside of that tax bracket and you can no longer qualify, but you're making enough money, you're making more than enough money to do what you need to do. That's It certainly is a badge of honor, and I think women should appreciate that and respect that for themselves, and I think men should too when they look at that. But it's like, if you're going to get upset because I talk about how I'm independent, I'm this, I'm that, then that just sounds like you don't want to you don't want to be made to feel like you're not enough, like you're not adequate. Like if
But that's not, that
What
don't
about the
have
ones that
anything
are
to do
saying
with
it
the other
that say they
person.
don't need a man? I'm independent. I can do everything by myself. I don't need a man. He may be talking about those kind. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
women that say that I'm independent and I don't need a man and everything like that. Those are different.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's different.
You mute it.
You mute Unmute yourself, Mr. Tristan.
And, uh, it's not technically that she don't need a man. She wants one. She don't have to have me. And just like I don't have to have a woman. I want one. You
Right.
know, as as you look at it, like women are successful in what they do. Like I said, I don't. I was on the live one night, and I'm listening to. It's like eight to seven women in this panel, and the topic of their conversation, they were all women of color. Is it safe to say that black men ain't shit? And that irked my soul.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah. I don't
no,
like that
yeah,
either.
oh, yeah,
You
no,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And then they had the audacity to sit there. And this is a woman who's is a politician in Atlanta. somewhere in Georgia. She was on there. Beautiful woman, nice. Had a good conversation with her. But at the same time, like I'm sitting here saying, you are a woman who is in politics. And she asked me specifically, she was like, is it okay for a woman to run in politics? I say, yeah, as long as she's helping a woman of color. Is it okay for a woman to run in politics? I said, yes. I said, it ain't nothing wrong with a woman running in politics or leading in certain situations and aspects of whether it's in your city or in your town or in your government system. I told her, but what do you do for the black people? That's what I want to know. What do you do for the brown people? If you're not getting in that position to help these people who are struggling out here because they put us on the bottom, then what's the point of you even being up there? You just up there for yourself. You up there to have a status. You're not doing nothing. So yes, I told her, if you're not doing that, then there's no place for you to be up there. You need to sit down. But anyway, they go on to say that men ain't this because they said we are the problem and we choose not to be here for our kids and we choose not to do this in the relationships and we choose to F this up and mess this up. I said, but look, you have a man who wants to see his kids, but you're just mad at him because specifically, and don't let him see his kids because specifically you're bitter about the situation he was in with you. And then you blame him for it and then don't want to see his kids. Then you go all over social media and say he ain't shit.
That's petty. I mean, that's
That's
petty.
petty.
You know, you go all bash his name, and then his kids grow up not liking him at all because he's never there. Because that man finally got tired and said, you know what, forget it. And then because I almost got to that point with my youngest two. I got a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old. I'm going to court on custody battle. Like she would not let me see them.
Wow.
And like literally, she's just mad at me. We've been separated 3 years. She's got a whole new baby and soon to be married soon.
Mm.
But your focus is on me, whether I can see my kids or not, because you're bitter towards me because our relationship didn't work out. And I chose to cut our little intimacy thing that we did afterwards off.
Right. Right.
That is why I am strictly on this topic of what brown black women doing, black men and brown men are doing, because we are destroying each other and we step outside our boundaries because we can't even come together to work this situation out when it's clearly right there, plain as day, like this is the problem.
True.
I don't care about a woman being independent. She can be independent. I'd rather, if she made 10 figures and I made 8, I'm still fine with my 8 because I'm living off my 8.
Right.
I'm fine with my 10 if she come on in.
Right.
So regardless, I don't care about you being independent. I care about you being who you are and what you need to be when you here with me. That's all I add. That's what I say a relationship should be based upon. As long as I'm doing what I got to do to make sure you good, as long as you're doing what I got to do to make sure we good, we good. But I don't have a problem if they want to date us. If people want to date outside their race, then that's fine. More power to you. Much love to you. But me personally, I'm seeing the struggle of black women growing up, hitting their 40s, 30s, 50s, and 60s, and they ain't never seen a marriage in a day in their life because a lot of our men done stepped off. So I'd rather talk to our black women and say, hey, this is the problem I see that most black men are struggling with and having with y'all. I like to my black and brown men, hey, this is the struggle and the problem that I see that's happening of why they are feeling the way they do. I just wanted to come together and fix it because you got to understand, y'all women, as black and brown women, y'all outrate us 5-1. So it's more y'all on this earth than it is us. So we can actually leave and go find another woman just like that. It's rare that y'all can be able to just go out here and go get you a man quickly. Because y'all outrate us big time. And that's the reason why God said 2/3 of his people go die. If y'all outrate us that much, there's a point behind that. So I want y'all as black and brown women to think about that. Like, y'all can say y'all don't have many options, but you're losing most of your options because a lot of these men are running away Because if I get in a relationship today and then I choose to marry you today, I'm that putting a ring on your finger and saying I do to you that day. I just put my whole life on the line, because the minute you get mad and say you're done with me, I lose everything, I damn near all of it, when it's all said and done. So you got to think about that, what that risk that man is taking in choosing to be with you.
Why do you say you'll lose everything?
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question.
Because nowadays, marriage is no more than just a piece of paper. People treat relationships more stronger than they do a marriage. They treat a marriage like, oh, I can end it at the drop of a dime. And the reason that it's being done is because the women are doing that now. Women will cut a man off in a heartbeat, just take majority of everything he got.
But okay,
Yeah, I think
let's not
the
say
same
cut
thing.
them off in a heartbeat, because women go through a lot of shit with some men too.
And
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. You're right. I was
So
getting to that point.
I mean, if you doing wrong and you just not, wanted to reciprocate the energy that I'm giving you, and I've been with you this long and you're still not giving me that, eventually she's gonna get tired and she's gonna walk away.
right.
So in most of the cases that I see, it be like that.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's the thing.
Explain to me, like, in what case? Because yeah.
Well, you got to understand this point. A lot of men make major f ups in a relationship. A lot of
Yep.
men do. That's because it goes back to that young man never had his father in his life, and he grew up emotional as hell and still trying to
Why
figure
are
his
we
way out in
blaming
life.
that in the past? Like, people should be, I'm sorry, people should be past that. Like, I had a lot of stuff that happened to me in the past, and I don't bring that into my future. Like, we got too many excuses of why men mess up, and women should be there, standing there by their side after all
Yes.
the stuff that they do to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some men literally spit in your face.
Yeah, that's nasty.
That is retarded, and I was
And
slap the hell out of one.
disrespectful, all of
That
that.
that is the ultimate disrespect. I don't give pardon my language, I don't give a damn if you a woman. You spit on me. That's zero understanding.
Some
You
people do that. Some people
That's
do that.
zero understanding. Like
Right about
at
that.
that point, you just said, "I'm not even worth the
I've been
ground."
there.
You
I've
just
been
told me the
there.
ground is more important than the.
Yeah.
Oh no,
You
no.
you talking to one now. So I mean, I'm not making it up.
I know you. I've seen it. My ex tried it with me. You know how that ended for her? Very badly. One thing. Look, I'm my pet peeve. I'm a man of nothing but respect. I respect you. I give you respect, because people always say you got to earn respect. No, respect is given. Respect is given.
Exactly.
Trust is earned. So, with that being said, I'm gonna respect every one of y'all on this panel, regardless. Even when you be disrespectful, or if you was to be disrespectful, I'm gonna respectfully let you be.
Yeah.
Even when I'm in an altercation, I'm gonna respectfully get in your. You know what I mean? But it's all about respect.
Yeah.
And my man down here, Misha, like Misha, as a man, we understand what respect is. Even if he was hot headed right now, if I come down here and be like, bruh, just chill. Even though he hot at me, if I'm respecting him in that situation, we reciprocate respect as understanding.
Right.
That's what we do. And it will gradually calm him down as long as I'm still respecting him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you come to me spitting on me, oh no, it's over with. It's over with.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like a lot of women been through a lot of traumatic situations. So you also have to put yourself in their shoes and where they coming from. But go ahead, Misha.
What?
Oh, you had something to say? No?
Oh, that was earlier. I was good now though.
But look, I look at it like this. A lot of people come with trauma, and everybody's coming with baggage. I don't care if you choose to try to lay it down, or if you choose to try to, deal with it. I prefer you to deal with it before you get involved. But everybody's coming with baggage.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, You choose yourself right then and there of getting to know that person. Do I want to carry this extra baggage with me? Do I want to be able to be that person, whatever traumas they went through, to show them and try to change that for them? That's your choice. That's why I tell people you need to ask them when they come to you, how about I can do this and I can do that. I bring this to the table. I make this amount of money. I cook, clean, blah, blah, blah. What's your flaws, first and foremost? Because that's going to determine the character I am with you.
Yeah.
That's going to determine who I am with you, whether I'm able to handle those flaws. Am I able to help you change those flaws? Or whether you're going to make me the worst character ever and I need to step F away. And that's the questions people need to be asking these people when they come involved in these relationships.
Yes.
You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
how many people? 100 though. How many people coming to you like that?
saying? Are they what now?
How many of them come into you like that though? How many people
They're
come out
not
like that?
because
Exactly.
look, you know why they ain't coming to me like that, or they ain't coming to anybody like that these days, is because for some fact they're putting on a show. Your what's the saying is your first impression is what? Your best impression.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if
So
if you are who you is all the time, then it don't matter, right? So your first impression is gonna be your every impression if that's who you
there you go.
really is.
No, not technically, because you don't know the other side of that person when you meet them. Everybody's
Yeah,
got
but
a
like
good and
me,
bad.
but I'm not gonna be different just depending on somebody else. I'm gonna be the same person who I am all the time, who I am. So if that person is a different person, I'm gonna see that, but I'm gonna be the same person every time because that's who I am. If I'm not the
Yeah.
same person every time, then that means I'm being a different person. I'm having a
Yeah, you
facade.
do have some people. I mean, I can truly say you do have some people that just gonna be the same. You know,
Yeah.
they gonna come out
Well,
and tell you. Then you have those that's just gonna, you know, give you flowers and everything, and then boom, they're a totally different person.
Right.
you got to
Hey,
understand this
Ro,
concept too. When let me put it to you this way: a man involved, or a man or a woman involved in a relationship where their feelings are not tied into that,
Mm-hmm.
how you deal with a person changes.
yep, facts.
So how you're going to react to them based on what you know and how you feel later is going to be totally different. You get what I'm saying? So, for example, you go on that first day, you get to know this person, you be like, what's your flaws? And they tell you your flaws, right? Right then and there, you go handle it because you don't even feel that person that way. You just getting to know them. But once you fall and have catch feelings for that person, and then you see these flaws start to affect, that's going to change your reaction and what you really previously thought you would do.
So when you say flaws, do you mean like red flags that make their appearance, like
Yes.
things make you question and doubt where this person is coming from, or something just seems like it's a little bit off? Is that what
Yes.
you mean by flaws?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to understand the person's flaws. You got to know what you're getting into. You don't go and jump inside of a hole if you don't know what's down there, do you not?
True.
It depends who you are.
I ain't no daredevil, but you got to know this person. That's why I tell people you don't date, you approve a person. Because I don't date, I approve. I got to make sure you are what God says you're supposed to be. I got to understand
So how
what
do you
you're
go
going.
about doing that? So how do you go about doing that? What's your process?
Well, when I meet a person, first of all, I got to understand who they are, where they come from, what's your background. I got to understand what you've been through, what caused your last relationship to fall back. You know, nine
So
out of 10, they can blame that other person, right?
are these conversations, or are these like conversations on phones, or are you going on dates having these conversations? Like, what's the variable with this?
That's just conversation. The minute I go on a date with you, I probably 9 times out of 10 we've been on the phone for a while. But
So before you even take them on a date or anything like that, you vet them enough to like, you feel they're in a certain position. So you're not gonna even go on a date with somebody that you feel is
no, because at that point in
okay.
time, I'm wasting my time and I'm wasting theirs.
No. I just wanted to find out how how you vetting the people that you come across to get that
Yeah.
because
That's a good.
people
That's a
ain't gonna
good.
be authentic.
That's
Yeah,
a good question.
that is a good question.
You got to know the person you're getting yourself involved with. Just say for an example, I get involved with a woman that I've been having a conversation with and I just met, and we have these conversations. I can also understand by listening to what she's saying and telling me her past or telling me certain situations that she's done went through right then and there. I know the red flags. And I'd be like, nah, I don't think I can handle that. And I'd be like, hey, it was good meeting you. I appreciate the conversation though, but I got a jet.
But
Yeah,
if
But
you're
see, there's not a lot
dating,
of
you're
men out
just
there.
dating, right?
But there's
at
not a
that
lot of
point
men
where
out
I
there like that. See, there's not a lot of
huh?
men out there that will say, you know what, you're not for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass. Men will just do whatever. Most men or a lot of men will be out there just do whatever and let it fall where it wants to. There's not a lot of men that's inside that know themselves well enough to know, like, you know what, I don't see this gonna be detrimental to my health, so let me walk away from that. There's not a lot of guys out there that think like that.
It's the best way to do it, man, because
Well, I mean, I
let me
know it is, but be
because
honest.
a lot of men, let me tell you what a lot of men do. And I try to teach my boys that, and I also try to teach other individuals that I work with and so forth. I tell them all the time, I'm like, hey, look, if you want to smash and that's all you want to do, let her know that's all you want. If
Well,
you
yeah.
trying to just date to see where to go, let her know you're trying to figure this out. If you got a gal and you hollering about you want her to be a sneaky link, tell her you got a gal and you want to be 9 times 10. She gonna respect you because you told the
No,
truth, and nine
that's
times 10 she probably gonna
that's
still
the
mess
truth.
with you anyway.
Yeah, no, that's a total honest. If you give women the option and stuff like that,
They'll
they
respect you more.
they respect you more, and then they're more willing to do so, go where they wouldn't go if you didn't.
Exactly.
I think the honesty part
It plays a big role.
plays a really big role.
What's
You
the
know,
Does.
point of lying?
if you are upfront with me and you're honest with me about whatever the situation might be, I am going to have, more respect for you for coming to me and telling me the truth than me finding out some shit on my own. And then I got to question you and ask, what's going on. Then the trust just flies out the window because
It's what
you
he
were,
said at the beginning about
yeah,
respect. It's about
yeah.
respect. So if I meet you and don't even know you and give you enough respect to let you know this is how I roll, and then you get a choice, you know what? I mean, I respect that, and then I don't get down, so no, or you know what? Let me whatever you, but at least
Exactly.
all of those, and you got it. So then when something does come up, the crazy stuff don't happen 9 times out of 10, because sometimes even though you do be truthful with women and let them know what's going on, they still in the back of their mind thinking, well, okay, well he told me that, but I'm me, so I could change that. Then that's when we get into a little different issues. But
And
understand.
then the worst part about it is, I tell any man, if you get with a woman, why you got one, and then you turn around and get caught up, you losing both of them. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's
Oh,
best for you to be truthful, and that woman decide to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and fuck with you a little bit." And then your old lady finds out, she gonna leave you, but you still got one left over here that's been wanting that spot anyway.
Well, I
I
ain't gonna.
I'm gonna say
I'm not gonna comment on that.
I'm gonna go into
I'm
this.
just saying that's my younger days. I try to tell the young dudes that's out here doing that. Look, if that's what you gonna do it the right way. Be respectful and give that woman that option.
Yeah, just be honest. Give the people the choice. You'll believe you will be surprised about how many people think alike out here, but are just too
Yeah.
scared to put the truth out there. That's the whole thing about it. People are scared to be truthful about who they are because they don't think people accept them. They put a facade and try to put something out there that they think people want. Just be yourself. You know what I mean? Like everybody different. So when you sit there and try to be something that you're not being authentic. That going people can see through that all day long.
Exactly. You
Like
know,
looking online and looking through the Timu catalog and finding a dress and you love the dress, the picture's great. So you go ahead and you order that dress. When you get that package and you open it up and it looks nothing like what you saw in the picture,
That's a
you
good now.
pissed.
oh,
Like,
I got a story behind that
And
one.
I think there's a huge disconnect. A lot of great men are overlooked. Um,
Well, a lot of great men don't put themselves out there like that because they busy living life.
Thank you.
yeah, yeah,
You
but
gotta
they not
find
out
them. You gotta
like that.
find
You're
good
right.
men.
They're not
Good
out there
men ain't
like
gonna
that.
come find you. You gotta find them because they ain't busy scouring this earth looking for a woman. They just living
So
life. If a woman gonna come, they gonna come.
I have this question for y'all. Do you all think that many people weren't taught on how to spot a valuable man or woman?
Uh, uh,
I think y'all answered this at the beginning.
a
Not
man's
sure.
value has to be built. A woman's value is given.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that, and I had this topic in discussion with some coworkers the other day. A man has to grow up to build his values. Because what a woman sees his success is what she sees is what she wants. A
Mm-hmm.
woman is born with value. And as she gradually gets older, while she intermingling with 50 million other people that she may be doing or may not be doing, she's gradually losing that because now she's in her 30s, now she's in her 40s, and she's still in the same stage. Now got multiple kids, maybe multiple daddies, you know, and that man has been gradually building his value to get to that point. That's why I say our women need to slow it down because we're looking at those things. As men, we look at those type of things. Y'all look at us. Most women, I ain't gonna say all women, but most women look at most men. Oh, every woman wants this guy. I want to find out why. Most men go sit there and look at a woman. Every man done had her. Why the hell I want to go over there? You see the opposite right there?
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I say y'all value will decrease as you get older and you keep putting yourself out there like that. And we're trying to build our value because we don't have none yet.
Say value exactly. What are you what would
What I'm saying is like, for example, what are the odds?
in your eyes?
Okay. Okay. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay. So what are the odds of you meeting someone today with no kids? A
You
woman or a man?
talking about us, like
Yeah.
older people,
What?
like our age? Are you talking
No,
about
period. In our generation, what are the odds of you meeting a man or woman with no kids?
I think age have a lot to do with that.
Yeah, our
Okay.
age, we really ain't
Okay.
meeting them like that. No.
So people have had, so say for example, say a woman that's 30, 33 years old, right? No kids, successful life,
That's
right?
young. That's young though. That's young.
Huh?
That's still young though.
Okay, give us say 38.
Okay, there we go.
And she has no kids, has a successful life, never been married, never even laid down with a man. She just been focused, right? And that man finds out about that. Would you choose her, right? And this is a question for you, Misha. Would you choose her versus a woman who has had multiple men, multiple kids, and haven't got too far in life?
So to be honest with that, to honestly answer that, I never gonna pick somebody based on that right there. Now I might talk to the other girl first, then I talk to the
Hmm.
other one. But that ain't got no bearing
Exactly.
which one I'm gonna like because the one with the
That's
more kids
fine.
and everything like that might be my soulmate. So
And
it
that
just
is
happened to
true.
be we crossed paths right when we crossed paths and where she got to, that's all that stuff's
That's
behind. Like I'm
that's
not the type of
that's
person.
That's why you chose
say
that
I'm gonna
person
talk to
first.
her
You went to
first.
that
What
person
what
first.
Oh, well,
what
of course, because
what
you
would
already
made
started
you
off by
talk to
saying
the other girl
that lady's
first?
value is higher. You already started off when you started that talking about the value of a woman, and if that woman ain't had no man or nothing like that, then she's still holding a high value at 39 years old. As far as the other woman that got multiple kids, oh yeah, her value's a little bit lower. But that's just the intro of talking to one of them. That's
There
not
you
going to
go.
be the
That's what I'm
person that's
saying. I'm
gonna.
not saying
Wait,
that's
wait,
how it's
wait,
gonna
wait,
turn
wait.
out.
We
I'm
gotta
not
just
saying that's how it's gonna turn
rush
out.
through there like y'all just didn't say that.
What'd you say?
Okay,
Well,
come
see,
back a
that's what
little.
I'm saying. That's
Come
not
back, Brenda. Tell them to come back a little bit.
All right.
Let's go back a little bit. So you would talk to the girl who don't have no kids first.
Well, yeah, because she's gonna already have less.
But you have kids.
That's still. I mean, that's still. That wasn't the question. That wasn't the question on my situation. The question
Wait,
on
wait,
what I
wait.
asked. So you're saying. So I'm saying if I had a choice to talk to a 38-year-old woman with kids and a 38-year-old woman without kids and stuff, I'm not saying that I would choose the other one first. I'm just saying I probably would talk to the other one first because she's gonna come with less flags automatic off the bat. No baby daddy I gotta deal with. None of that's automatic.
So
Just the same
okay,
way
so
it'll be the
why?
same way
Okay,
with a
so
woman.
we
When a
can
man
do the
don't got
same
no
thing,
kids
Brenna.
and stuff, a woman gonna choose the man with no kids before she choose the man with the kids first, because for the main purpose she don't want to deal with the baby mama. And you're a woman and you guys know that stuff. This is automatic like that. Not
That's
saying
not
that
true.
not saying the other person is better, but if
That's
you have
not
the
true.
choice,
That's
if you have
not
the
true.
choice,
That's not true. You find a lot of women dating men who
that's not
has
what that wasn't the
kids.
question. That wasn't the
And,
Well,
question.
and most of the
That wasn't the
time
question.
you'll find a lot of more men who have kids.
Right. But that
And
wasn't the
okay,
they
question that he
have to
asked.
be
That
a
wasn't the question that he
stepmom.
asked. Yeah, that wasn't the
but you got
question
to
that he asked.
understand this concept. Understand this concept. A woman that sees a man that is taking care of his kids and providing for them, she's more in tune with him because she looks at him. If I have kids by this man, he's gonna do the same for me with my
You would
kids.
think.
Oh no.
Am I
No.
right or wrong?
No, no, no,
You
no.
know how many women don't walk up to me while I'm
No,
holding my
no.
son in my arm?
No. That ain't always the
So yeah,
case.
I
I'm
no, I
sorry.
can vouch for when you are
That's
just a
not
baby
always the
daddy. When
case.
you're just a baby daddy raising kids, it's different than when you're a single dad raising kids. When it
But
comes
I'm
to
Thank
me,
you.
saying, why
it's
are
a
you?
big
Why do
difference.
you have kids? Okay, why do you have kids and you looking for somebody who don't have kids?
That
Answer
was not
that,
the
because
question.
that's kind
That
of like
was
a
not the
hypocrite.
question he asked. He
That's
didn't
kind
say
of
that.
hypocrite to me.
Nah, he didn't. That's not the question he asked. He didn't ask me what I was looking for. He asked, given the choice of those two, which one would you talk to first? So I gave the scenario. He didn't ask
But
what I
I'm saying,
was looking
like, why
for.
would you talk
You
to the
you you
woman
can't.
who don't have no kids and you got kids?
I just told you why. Because she got. I don't have to worry about no baby daddy or nothing like that. That's the reason why. My particular reason and stuff like that. Not
Most
saying that, but
men would nine times out
I'm
of
gonna end up
10
liking the
choose
one with
that
the
one.
kids though. You know what
He
I'm
would go
saying?
to that one
Like
first and
Know that.
determine based on her personality and her understanding of who she is would determine whether he
that's who
would
you gonna
step
be
back and
with.
say go to the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You get
Okay.
what I'm saying?
But
So look for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a
Yeah.
man who has 5 biological kids, one step.
I just think that's kind of hypocritical.
Hold on. Look at it this way. I'm gonna be a man who I got 5 biological kids.
She can deal with your baby mama, but you ain't finna deal with her baby daddy. You see what
Okay,
I'm
let me
saying?
put it this way.
Brenda, get
man,
in here.
you
Where
Let me
you
put
trying
at?
let me put
you
it to you
trying
this
to
way.
take what I said and move it to something else though. You can't do
Let
that.
me
You
let me
trying to
put it.
take
Hey,
and move
I
it.
got you, brother. I got you, brother. Let me explain something to you. It's easier for you to come over here with a man that's go protect you, that's got a bad baby mama. He won't let her mess with a picture of you.
Seriously?
Versus me coming over there in your household, I gotta protect you from your baby daddy and almost get put to death if he try to get stupid.
Hmm.
Which your women get stupid too, though.
No,
Yeah,
she ain't
but
gonna get.
just like
But
you
you know what?
said,
My
women
job
gonna
is to
make sure
protect
that
you. I'm willing to risk
exactly.
my life behind that.
That was good right there.
I don't think so. But
You a
It
lie.
was. It was
You
good.
a
where
That was
lie.
good.
she
Because
That was
at?
once
good.
I make you mine, I'm gonna die behind that.
That part right there.
I'm gonna
Okay.
die behind that. That's mine. You don't touch with a pit. You don't mess with a picture of it. I'm gonna tell you right now. If I was involved in a relationship with a woman and my baby mama, me and her pulls up at my baby mama house and to go pick up my kids, she come out acting stupid and she's banging on the window. I'm like, bitch, get out the car and let's do this. I'm gonna get out the car respectfully, walk around there like she ain't gotta get out of the car. I'm gonna whoop your ass myself if you don't get the hell away from my car. Her job is to
We
look
ain't
pretty.
going that far. We ain't gonna go that far. But
Her
you
job
get
is
the
to
point.
look pretty. You ain't even
I
mess with a picture
for
of her.
that car.
We ain't getting out putting our hands on the women or nothing like
No,
that.
I'm not saying I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna tell you specifically. When I get out that car, I'm gonna get right in front of her window and be like, look, you're not gonna touch a picture of her. Period. That's my job. Either you step away from my car, I'm gonna call the law first, because you're going to jail. But number one,
Okay, so what? Let's move on to this. Let's move on for that subject right there, because that's a whole nother podcast. But
Yeah.
some people don't date outside of their race because of fear of not being accepted by their own kind.
Hey, well, then that's somebody that live life for other people and ain't living their own life.
there you
Because
go.
if you living your own life,
No,
then
no,
you
no, no,
other
no.
people.
You can't say that though, because
Why not?
truthfully, truthfully, there may not. th- those people may not ever had anyone to try to talk to them from their own kind. So now they have to go outside of their race to try to date someone.
Pump your brakes. 9 times out of 10,
No,
they,
no,
It's some
if
people.
somebody
It's
of
some
color,
people.
if you of color and nobody chooses to talk to you, then you need to go look in the mirror and talk to yourself.
there you go. It's just too many
Because
people in the
that's
world for you to make that kind of
you know how many
mistake.
black and brown people are on this earth,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
just you
saying
can't make
nobody
mistakes.
of your race want to talk to
It's
you, then you
Israel,
got to look at yourself first.
and they may not. The little stereotype about the nerdy type of dude nobody really wants to
Yeah, but
talk
there's
to.
somebody for everybody. Some
You know what I'm
people like
saying?
all different people. Like people like nerdy people, people like all different types. You know what I mean? You have to
But
go
what
out
if
there
they
and
can't
find.
find
You
that
can't
person? Though,
expect it
where
just
they
to come
gonna
to
go?
you. You gotta go
Salud.
find.
Thank you.
What happened?
Saludos. Oh no, just somebody came on in the comments.
Oh,
But you have that. You have that. Maybe it's not in their circle. You can't go searching all over the world now. Come on, let's be realistic, y'all.
Okay, even
why
in the
not?
United States, come on now, there's 50 states in here. There's over 16 million black folks in the United
Huh?
States. You mean tell me not one person
But
want to talk to you of color?
go
And
searching
then
all
maybe
over the
back in
United
the
States?
'80s,
It's still
before
your
social media,
environment.
And with
before
social
social
media, you can go
media,
all over the United
you
States.
was stuck to where you was at in your environment. Now that social media is, you're not stuck to nothing. You got
Thank
everything
you.
in
Some
the palm
people
of your
don't
hand.
like
So
to
for this
social
to say
media.
that,
So what you have to say about those?
Okay,
then
when
then
they
they can't
choose
use it
not to
as an
deal with
excuse.
social media, they need to start traveling, or otherwise they were keeping themselves from exploring or being out, to, able
What
to
about what
start.
about the people that don't want to date outside of the race because they'll feel like they're not being loyal to their people?
Well, the people that feel like they don't, if they don't, look, to each his own. That's what I say. To each his own. If that's what you choose to do, then you do that. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? I ain't got to deal with that. I ain't got to answer that. That's your problem, your future situationship. Ain't got nothing to do with me. But me personally, I'm gonna stand on business. When it comes to my race, I'm gonna stand behind them.
So do
I
you
see my
think
sisters
people
are
should?
struggling out here.
So do you all think that people should open up to the pool of dating outside of their race?
I mean, if that's what you want to do, I ain't got an answer for that. That's you.
I
Misha?
think you should. I think that it shouldn't be a race thing. That you should
Well,
just be genuinely meeting people and going from there.
but you know, genuinely, I'm gonna be like I told you. I'm always stand on business, and I'm gonna tell you what God look. God don't allow it. I ain't gonna lie. It says it
God,
right there in the
God
book.
don't allow what? What don't He
You
allow?
downside your own race.
Okay.
Why not?
Where you think that whole saying during the whole Jim Crow era, the whole entire time, where they
I
kept
heard
telling you
the
that
second
that
person.
say they got it out the Bible.
What Bible
Yeah,
verse is
you're
that?
the second person I've heard.
It's in Genesis. I just read it today. Genesis. Well, God said, "I was displeased with man because I seen the sons of God going into the daughters of men."
Where's that verse?
And I can look it up. I gotta go. Give me a minute. Let me go in the house. I grab my other phone in a second. But I pull up the verse on that. But he said, I was displeased with man because I displeased with my people because I saw the sons of God going in the daughters of men. So people don't understand what the meaning of Israel means. The word Israel means a prince of God, which is the sons of God. And he was talking about them going into another nationality of people.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
that is why I choose to stick to black or brown. That's my choice. Now, if you choose to do whatever you want to do, that's your business. You stand on it. I don't have to answer to that. There's a reason why Nehemiah in the Bible ran all them men out out the gates of Israel because he seen them intermingling with like different nationalities that he wasn't supposed to, and they were marrying them and bearing kids with them. He kicked them out. That's the purpose behind that. That's where they got that from during the Jim Crow era.
I'm definitely not finna get up on here talking about no Bible and stuff.
Well, you ain't got to. I'm just telling you where I stand at. That's just me. So if it ain't black, Hispanic, or native, you know what? I just look at you from a distance.
And then that's a whole like when you say that, that's more than one race.
No, they actually is not because the original Native Americans were pitch black.
I mean, if we're gonna go see, that's why I don't want to because we can always debate back and
No,
forth.
no, I like black history. I've
You talk
studied
about
it and done every bit of it. I've studied.
out here come from somebody. Somebody originally had to come from somebody.
No, I
So
studied every
everybody
race. I've
you had to
studied
come
every
from
race. I've studied black history. I studied African history, which technically we're not
something.
African, but I studied
All
African
right. So
history.
then,
I've
so
also
then God
studied
put God put each race out here, or did He put one person? How many people He put out when He started this when He started it? How many was
when he
out here?
start when he started. How many
When He
people when
started,
he started?
yeah. How many people was out there?
If you read the Bible, he said, I created Adam and Eve, and then I go on to create male and female. You think God just created two birds and said, there's a male and female bird. Y'all go create the whole entire race of birds. No, he didn't. Come on now. Come on. We got
What
to
He
be
do
smart about
then?
this.
What He do? What He do?
He said, I go on to create male and female. You see, Cain, who got kicked out the garden, went on to build a city, got married, had a son named Enoch. He had to go marry somebody, didn't he?
My point exactly.
So God created Adam and Eve was just the first. He said, I go on to create male and female.
Okay, so we have an hour and 6 minutes on this podcast today, y'all. I thank you all so much for joining us. I don't know what happened to Brenna. I don't know if her system is acting up or not. But I want to get some final thoughts on this podcast today. Thank you, Tristan, for joining us. Thank you, Misha, for
Most
joining
definitely. Thank
us.
you for having me.
So, what are your
Yes.
final thoughts on interracial dating or relationships, marriage?
Well, me personally, I think women need to be more patient with men because most of these men are growing up with single mothers, so they're acting emotional today. So that's why are you getting the things you're getting from him? Because most men don't mature, like I said, to the late 30s, early 40s. And I think most men need to start stepping in their masculinity, seeking it out early,
Mm-hmm.
finding themselves, and become the man and the better version of themselves that they should be before they involve themselves in relationships, start hurting these women. That's
Misha?
my honest God truth.
Um, I don't have no issue with no interracial dating. I think people should genuinely look for who makes them happy and don't look at color like that.
I'm always gonna base it on color because it's still based on color today.
I think interracial relationships are great. Only thing I don't like if it's a couple that is trying to make another race feel bad or um use their relationship as a display um that is not real to me. And that's just not real to me, like trying to put another race down and saying, oh, this person will do this that, that's why I'm here, but they wouldn't do that. Like, I don't like that. I see that a lot on social media, and I think that is trying to bring another person down, and I'm not with that. So I mean, as long as it's true love, um I don't comment on those videos or anything like that. Um, we all have flaws as people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It doesn't matter the race, black, Hispanic, white, whatever. And I don't even think white and black is the race, but okay. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
actually in the Bible in history they call it mulatto.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why people came up with the even black and white thing, because those are colors to me. But
Right.
go, what's your final thoughts, Brenda? I'm sorry. I thought we lost you for a
Now
minute.
I had to go out and come back in because my I didn't have do not disturb on my phone. I think that, dating outside of your race, I don't think that it should be I don't think that it should be frowned upon. Like I said, you love who you love, and if that happens to be someone that is of a different race, then go for it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I only have issue with people that specifically say they won't date a black woman, or they don't want to marry a black woman, or they don't want to have kids with a black woman because they want their kids to look a certain way. They want their kids to be lighter complected, or have, better hair, or some of the old
Right. Trying to
typical
bring somebody else down.
Yeah, well, it don't
exactly.
always work out
Exactly.
like that.
Well, I got a story behind that before we just depart from this. My little brother, 29 years old, right? Be 30 this year. He's got 5 kids, all of them mixed. His wife, he got 4 kids by his wife and one from before they got married. So, in his teenage stage, this is the time when I was having kids and so forth. He told me, he said, the only reason I do not want a black woman, and I asked him why. He said, because of mama.
Because your mother.
That was what he said. My mama is the sweetest person you ever meet. Will help anybody out, but she is vicious as hell. When
Well, I
he
think all
told me
black
that,
women
that
is,
stuck with
but
me. That stuck with me because my mama is very temperamental. She want things her way, done her way. It's go be her way, or you got to go. And when he told me that, that stuck with me.
But that's just a personality.
Yeah.
You know that stuck with me. And as I got older, and you got to understand, I'm in my 20s when this was going on. So that stuck with me. And as I got older and I started watching times change, and I started looking at the black woman or the brown woman and how they acted, and then I look at my mom still to this day and how she still acts, and I got to think, I'm like, okay, this got to change. Because I can understand why he said that, but at the same time, I want to do something better for that situation. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because at this rate, a lot of our women go die single, never married. They can have all the magnificent riches and whatever they done gained in life. They can give it to their kids, but at the end of the day, they never got to the point in life where they could be fully happy. All the success in the world that you can possibly have don't
I
amount
don't
to the
think
fact of being
nobody can
loved.
be
But how you know that how you
fully.
judging their happiness on being with somebody? So maybe some people don't even want to be with somebody.
I
Like,
don't think that anybody can be fully happy. It's gonna be times where you're gonna have rough times. Everybody have different personalities. Everybody have, come with different things. It's just, are you willing to deal with it? Are you willing to cope with it? That's the thing. But as long as you know that's a good person, you know what I'm saying, you fell in love with that person, that's who you want to be with, I don't see no problem why you should be with that person. I think personally we all have messed up personalities in a way or two.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, you
You know
gotta
what I'm
look.
yeah.
saying? 'Cause
Well, look at it this way, and I'm just using myself as an example. I live in a perfect peace. It's been me for 4 years, just me. Well, 3.5.
your
But
definition of a perfect peace.
I'm in my perfect peace. The only person that disrupt my peace is me.
Yeah.
You know, uh, by me involving myself with a woman, that is why I'm so strict on who I deal with or who I involve myself with. Because the minute my bubble starts to shake or get stirred, it's being disrupted. And like I said, I'm always gonna stand on business what God loves. and he says, if your right hand causes you to sin, remove it. It is best to go in the kingdom of heaven maimed than the end of the hell with both of your hands.
But
So,
I feel like you're in a perfect peace, but there's not a perfect person. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And we have to understand that it's
Yeah.
not a perfect person.
well, see, and that goes back to what I was telling you earlier. You got to understand the person's flaws. That lets you know what you're capable of handling.
But see that too, because you may have requirements for somebody to be with you, and they have requirements too.
Right.
You know, and you may think that you bring perfect peace to a place, but they may be like, no, this is not perfect peace. To them, it might be something different.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I guess you can go back to say when somebody says, I want a normal life, well, then what's normal? Because
Right,
everybody's
exactly.
normal is
What's
different.
Normal to
normal to
you,
you?
whatever you consider your normal.
So,
Exactly.
so
So,
I would say date the closest to you. You know what I'm saying? The people that have your same values, your same standards, something similar to what you're looking for,
Yeah.
somebody similar to your situation, because like that you can understand them more.
Yeah.
well, I want a woman to be a reflection of me. That's all I ask for. A woman has to be a reflection of me. That means when she's
Exactly.
out in the world by herself while I'm at work, or whether she's out in the supermarkets while I'm at work,
She
she's
has to be
reflecting me.
similar to you.
She's
Yeah.
supposed to reflect me, just vice versa. When I'm out in the world, I'm gonna be a reflection of her. When I look in the mirror, I gotta see her. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And people, let me tell you something, and I want to end it on this note with me. How important a woman is in a man's life. Now, no, a man's purpose in life is to build, is to create. That's his purpose in life,
Hmm.
regardless how you look at it. Because a man don't have a choice to work. A woman with a man has a choice. And that's my opinion. That's
Hmm.
what I honestly believe. Because if that man don't want you to work and he prefers to take care of this whole entire household, unless he says, hey, go out there and do this and make some extra money for us, then by all means do that. But other than that, a woman having to work with a relationship is a choice. A man has no choice. So with that being said, at the end of the day, if a man sits here and turns and not value his woman enough to show herself to be approved to the world, because that is his job, because she's the number one priority, because a
Why
man
would
would
you
die.
have to be approved to the world?
Right.
How can he approve her to the world?
Why would he approve her to the world if she's not for the world? She's for
Yeah.
him.
Him.
No, not approve her to the world. Prove that
Okay.
she's basically his world.
Okay.
The power of a woman, she motivates him. She strengthens him. He
Yes.
comes home from at the end of a hard day. Maybe the boss done chewed him out and he's so tired of it because he's been dealing with, but he got a great job.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he's saying, I'm about to quit. I'm done with this job. It only takes a woman's soft words, her soft touch, and a little bit of something in the bedroom. That man getting up in the morning when that alarm clock go off, roll over and look at you and like, shit, let me get my ass up. That's the power you have.
Right.
That is why they say women are the biggest manipulators, because you have that power.
Okay.
Wow.
But because you have that power, but you can use it in the
Ain't
right way
nobody
or
got
the
that.
wrong way.
Ain't no woman on this earth got power over me. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You have the power to change that man, mold
Nah.
in his
You gotta
mood.
want to change for yourself. You gotta want to do that stuff for you. Gotta want to get
No,
up and go
he's
to work for
talking
yourself.
about like romantically. You know what I'm saying? Like if
She
you're having a hard day out there,
she
I want to be
changes your
with you,
mood.
not your chaotic.
Oh, yeah.
You
That
know.
is why God said a woman needs to be a man's peace. Because after he had a chaotic day and he comes
Yeah,
home,
okay.
she can touch him the right way, talk to him with the soft words of her soft voice, and then to handle her business in the bedroom at the end of the day, and then talk to him again and let him know, like, babe, it's okay. Handle your business. Get up there. Tell them, you got this. That man's gonna roll over in the morning when that alarm clock goes off and look at you, even though he decided not to, and get up and go to work. You
Right.
are his motivation.
Well, that's
Exactly.
different. Yeah, don't say like she control, like she been controlling him, but like
No,
motivating him and stuff like
women
that.
do today. Most of the women that you see on this
I
new
mean, we
generation, they manipulate
yeah,
that too.
yeah,
Right.
But what I'm saying is that woman has that power to can do
yeah,
that. That's why God said, "Man needs to help me."
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's days you gonna be down and out and don't feel like doing nothing no more. And
Mhm.
she gonna tell you specifically, like, babe, it's okay. She gonna have you a hot and ready
It's the
meal with
other
you.
way around too. Like women do need that too. Like,
Right. Yep.
And it's not saying that men can't do that for you. Because I tell you this way. I've learned this with a man and the power of a man in his household. He can walk in that door. And this is talking about a man, not these feminine dudes you see today.
mhm.
I'm talking about a man that walks in his house. He can have the shittiest attitude because of work, and it will change everybody's attitude in the house.
Oh yeah, I can speak
Now,
fast.
a feminine
Speak
man
fast.
that's like that can come in the household and it would change her attitude to the point she'll cuss his ass out. But a man that's a real man that comes in and have a shitty attitude because of work, she gonna look at him like, babe, come here. What's wrong? She gonna do everything to calm him to his peace.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what she gonna bring to him. And that's what I want a lot of y'all women. Y'all have that tool to do that. Y'all have that too to change the aspect of how a man thinks throughout the day. Because he is a logical thinker. You are based on your feelings and emotions. So when he's going through his feelings that he don't fully understand, and he only acting logically, that some things that logical nature he might not have, he shouldn't do. You tell him about why he feeling the way he do. Help him understand his feelings. Because you know about your feelings more than we understand ours. Because we
Right. 'Cause
think
we are
naturally.
creatures.
We think logically. That is why God says man and woman are meant to be as one, because you know my feelings more than I know them, and I know how to think about this life logically than you do. And I
Okay.
think we need to put that two together and become one like we supposed to be. For real. Walk with me as I go through these feelings I'm struggling with and don't understand. That's why men's suicide rates are higher than anybody on God's green earth, because we don't understand our feelings. So guess what? They resulted in the head and ended right then and there. Because we don't understand these feelings we're dealing with. We just know to think logically. I ain't supposed to do that. I know not to do that. Hey, that's way out the way. But you understand your feelings
Ex-
because you are a woman built on emotions and feelings. So teach your
Exactly.
man how to understand his feelings.
Brenna,
Yes, ma'am.
we're done for the night.
We are. This is
All right, you all. We're back next weekend with Brenna, and thank you all for joining us. I've
yeah.
seen a lot of people come in, but we only had one comment.
Right.
Y'all probably all right,
Hey,
y'all. Have a good night.
All right,
most
y'all.
definitely. Y'all enjoy y'all evening.
All
Bye.
right. Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.